Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It's Monday, February 1st, which means it's the start of Black History Month. We will be celebrating that all month long here at DBL, so please stay tuned for that. I am Tori here with my good friends Lindsay and Brandon. How are you both doing?
What's going on? Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
Brandon, you have anything to add here?
Happy Token Month for those who don't celebrate it 24/7, 365 days.
Fair opinion. Fair opinion. Amen to a lot. I think a lot of people were like, okay. Republicans, let's get to what you guys are all talking about all over my feed. Republicans are calling out some of their own members for embracing conspiracy theories. Like, for instance, again, this is a conspiracy, calling the Parkland school shooting a hoax. Ohio Senator Rob Portman was on CNN this weekend saying that Republican leaders should stand up and say this is totally unacceptable. Specifically, he's talking about GOP Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia. You might have heard a lot about her in the recent weeks. She has been open in the past about her beliefs in QAnon. Now, if you're looking at the screen being like, Tori, what the heck is QAnon? Don't you worry, we got you. QAnon is a far-right conspiracy theory that many allege that there's a secret Satan-worshiping group of pedophiles in the government and business. So how do people come to think that way? Well, that's something that Anderson Cooper was also wondering. So check out this clip while he is confronting a former QAnon supporter who believes some really crazy things about the TV host. Take a look.
Did you at the time believe that high-level Democrats and celebrities were worshiping Satan, drinking the blood of children?
Anderson, I thought you did that. And I would like to apologize for that right now, so I apologize for thinking that you ate babies. But yeah, 100%.
You actually, but you actually believe that I was drinking the blood of children?
Yes, I did.
Was it something about me that made you think that?
Okay, so let's have this conversation because it's in our government at this level. I want to ask Linz and Brandon, how do we begin to have what we all want, which is bipartisanship, right? How do we have that when you can't even agree on certain facts, like baseline facts? Like, how can I deal with gun reform, for instance, if you don't believe that the Parkland shooting or Sandy Hook, like children were shot, 6-year-olds, 20 of them were shot in their bodies. How do you do that?
I think it's time to detach from some of the crazy conspiracy theories. I mean, it's been time, but now that we're in an entire new leadership, it's really time to break away and look at anybody that's in a leadership position that's still supporting some of these things like Sandy Hook not happening, or like, you know, history of this happening for the last decade, at least at a very high level. I think we need to dismiss these claims. And I think it's smart of Republicans now to say, I'm stepping up and I'm standing next to you saying that I'm not going to support this. So you need to leave this position, because your first duty is to actually make real laws that protect people. And by spitting out things that aren't true, you're confusing people and have, like that Anderson interview we just saw.
Well, can I push you further? Would you expel them using Article 1, Section 5? You can't expel a congressperson using a majority or 2/3. Would you push that person out?
I think a lot of groups are pushing for senators to be expelled. And even on a level that we can just look at straight head on, is that our election wasn't rigged. You know what I mean? So I think that people are calling for people to expel on that level. And then everything else that comes behind it, like you eat babies, is just a little bit ridiculous. So it's kind of like, to me, annoying to talk about. But just on a level of just like, let's respect our Constitution and laws that we have in place, I think there are people calling for expulsion, and I'm one of those people.
Yeah, like my mom was in college, Brandon. We're Jewish, just so you know, and someone said, now that we're friends, can you show me your horns? Because people thought Jews had horns.
Right.
This was 1969, not that long ago. So the Jewish eating babies, the Jewish space lasers, not every Republican thinks that. I know a lot of you conservatives are out there thinking this is insane, but should they be allowed in our federal government?
Absolutely not. And I think that what we're seeing now, and what we're going to continue to see after the Trump administration, is you're going to see people separating themselves from just identifying themselves with a party. You know, like fiscally, I would say that I'm more conservative, but when it comes to humanitarian views, I'm more left. I skew to the left when it comes to that. And I can see people starting to do that because of the new Republican Party. People could say whatever they want. Donald Trump got 75 million votes. He was up 6% in points when it came to African-American male, 5% with Hispanic women. So when you're talking about the Republican Party and the people that they brought over, you're going to have to dismiss yourself from these fringe right people.
I feel you, Brandon. I feel like it has to be dismissed and get smaller, but it's getting bigger. We never have had a QAnon person in Congress. I can't discuss climate change with you and wildfires if you think I have a space laser as a Jew. But like, she thought this in 2018, Marjorie Taylor Greene. So I just want us to understand, I don't think it's getting smaller. Is this the new Republican Party?
I'm sorry,
we have to differentiate between like people who were just in this outrage politics type of space, and especially when President Trump was in office, it was like, okay, outrageous is okay. And now they were like, okay, well, I'm not trying to lose these followers, so I'm going to continue to support outrageous. I think we have to decide that right now you look crazy to support outrageous politics, because nobody's doing that. And so you can decide, yes, in 4 years, if you have other ambitions like running for president or keeping your seat, and you want those 75 million people to still support you because you think they believe in QAnon, then that's a whole other conversation. But what's real and what's not outrageous is what you need to be talking about right now.
And if we need to use expulsion, I think, and there are some Congress people on the right, just so you know, like Kinzinger, I think you should keep your mind on him, who's trying to start a coalition to separate from all these conspiracy theorists. So it's not, this is he right here. Keep your eye on him. It's not everyone. I get that. It's a small group, but it's a loud group, and it can grow.
And he said, let's take a look at the last 4 years, how far we've come in a bad way. So you see people jumping ship. You see, and that's why I'm saying, and that Republican Party, because we can continue to say Donald Trump is the Republican Party, you're going to see that split in the middle now of people trying to distance
I don't know
themselves.
if I see a split or it's growing.
Because when you talk about groups like, let's say, the Lincoln Project, they're a humongous organization full of Republican people, traditional conservative people that have those values that actually are breaking away from things that President Donald Trump has done, which is not outrageous.
I agree
it's
with
actually just a Republican thing that they're just trying to understand. How are we not following the guidelines of our party?
And I agree with you, but if I were a conservative right now, I would be very nervous that a QAnon person is in Congress representing the people of Georgia.
Absolutely.
That's scary to me because that shows growth. All right, speaking of Marjorie Taylor Greene, Saturday Night Live started back up this weekend and went after the Georgia representative for her beliefs. But there were two big politicians who were absent from the show, President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. So this has a lot of people outraged, especially considering that for the past 4 years, the show regularly roasted former President Trump, who was played on the show by a grumpy Alec Baldwin. So the question is this fair or is this evidence of a bias?
It's both. It's both, because think of when Donald Trump ran for the presidency of the United States, it was pure comedy. For certain people, obviously you look at it, you're like, oh, that's disgusting. Look what he said about some people. But the reason why he was in his office, because a lot of people were laughing. A lot of people found it entertaining. Everything that man said was a soundbite. So obviously Alec Baldwin, you run with it. There's nothing exciting about Joe Biden. Like, what are you going to do when it comes to Kamala Harris? Besides the whole, we did it, Joe. We did it. Like, that's something you can make fun of, but there's nothing that he does.
There's
because everything he's doing is so presidential. There's nothing that he's doing to make you can make some sort of comic satire out of it.
I think some presidents are more comedy heaven, and I think Donald Trump was one of them. I think he was very entertaining, and I also don't think they have someone playing him yet. Jim Carrey, I'll just be honest, was awful.
Terrible.
At Joe Biden. Like, he was like fireman. What is it? Joe? Jim? What is it? Fire Marshal Bill.
Oh, from In Living Color.
Yeah, and I didn't care for it. So I think they haven't actually found someone to play. What do you think, Linz?
I think that just give it like 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know people are like, you should have had it on the first week. I think if it was President Trump again, we would have had it on the first week. So I understand people's play or issue with this. But I think just give it some time. Like Brandon said, there's no material. We literally had a week of just normal, which I think everybody needed.
It's like, what are we going to say? Like, no malarkey.
And they're not going to touch his stutter.
No.
But then again, that is biased, because let's think, if Donald Trump stuttered, they would have had a field day with that on SNL.
SNL stepped in it many times. Remember, they went after Chelsea Clinton, and then everyone was outraged, and children were off limits from then on. So I think you do have to step in it to learn your lesson. But I am excited. Let us know who you would dream cast as Joe Biden.
I got to think about that.
As the impersonator. Because it was, for me, Jim Carrey was, I love him,
awful.
but all right. Coming up on DBL, Jeff is talking to none other than McLovin actor Christopher Mintz. What does he really think about his famous character? Plus, should prisoners, including Guantanamo Bay detainees, get the COVID vaccine before the rest of us? I want your opinion. Start writing. That's coming up next.
This is a Smile Direct Club aligner. It's how Smile Direct...
The surge in GameStop stock has everyone talking about retail investors. But who are they, and why are they all of a sudden wielding so much power? Let's connect the dots. A retail investor is basically anyone who isn't one of the big boys. We're talking individual investors who don't buy and sell securities professionally. They're trading for their personal accounts and often trade dramatically smaller amounts than an institutional investor. Retail investors often use online services like TD Ameritrade or Robinhood to make their trades. So why are retail investors all of a sudden front and center? Well, you can blame coronavirus for that one. All of a sudden, people stuck at home or out of jobs decided to step up their investing. And while the professionals sure do like to complain about retail investors, some research shows they may have helped keep markets afloat when the pandemic hit. According to researchers at the University of Virginia and the University of Zurich, retail investors came to the rescue when professionals fled the market in February, on a small scale, providing liquidity and helping stabilize the market. But it's not all positive. Experts do warn that retail investing is risky, with not enough focus on education. And as we have seen with GameStop, there is concern about retail investors using social media to manipulate the market. Connecting the dots, I'm Marcelino Benito.
This February, DBL is all new every day.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Really? Okay.
It is not a freaking joke.
I was shocked. How I meant for you to chime in on. I don't know what you're saying.
DBL is just getting started.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story.
Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year. DBL. A lot of people are angry over a plan by the Department of Defense. They had planned to give the COVID-19 vaccine to detainees at Guantanamo Bay, including the man who says he was the mastermind behind the 9/11 attack on the World Trade Center, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. After the plan became public, a lot of folks criticized it for putting terror suspects ahead of vulnerable Americans. So now it's on pause, this plan. But this brings up a really big problem facing a lot of local officials. Should prisoners get the COVID vaccine before other vulnerable Americans? Some states have paused plans, choosing instead to prioritize folks who have not committed crimes, while others say this is cruel since prisoners are so vulnerable because of their close quarters. All right, I will be very open and honest with you all. I'm not 100% sure where I land on this.
Okay.
I don't want Guantanamo Bay prisoners to get it, but I also don't want people who sold a little bit of weed to suddenly get COVID because they're, probation for a second or being held in bail forever. What do you guys think, Brandon?
I'm on the fence with you, obviously, because I think the kids should be back in school, but I got a lot of pushback for that because people are like, well, what about the teachers? They have to be, the teachers are going to be compromised being around the students. It's the same thing as our prison guards and the people in our prison system. They have to have close encounters with these prisoners, so they need to be protected, vaccinated, whether it's the prisoner or the
So why not just be the guards? You're saying it can't just be the guards.
But we've had Dr. Coley on here that just because you get the vaccine doesn't mean you're immune to the actual virus. So if you're death row, absolutely not. If you're a prisoner that's solitary confinement and you're not in general population, then absolutely not. You shouldn't get it before regular Americans or normal citizens get it. But I think that if you're on your way out or you have some sort of release within the next 3 to 6 months, then
maybe draw the line there.
Yes, maybe draw some sort of
line. It's confusing. We do, Lindsay. We got a comment. I don't know why I couldn't come up with that word. That was a hard word for me. Command from YouTube says, I have a close friend who works in prison systems. He's tested 1 to 2 times daily because of that extreme risk. Even hospital workers aren't tested that often. So help him out by getting prisoners on the list, not for them specifically, but for the guards.
Well, yeah, we did an interview on the show with a correction officer in New York that had COVID, and then his whole family got COVID, and I talked to them in New York, which is a highly populated jail, Rikers Island. And so, that makes me have a different perspective. When we're talking about Guantanamo Bay, we're talking about some of the most, notorious killers in our country's history. In the world, right? And so then you want to be like, wait, should they get it? But there are also employees that work there that we want to protect. And then when we talk about just prisons around the country that are maybe private or not, we have a disproportionate number of people of color in there for silly crimes like weed that's legal in Colorado. So when you have Colorado state saying that we're going to, vaccinate these people, then that makes sense because of what's going on. Look, you're in jail for something that is sold here recreationally.
I totally agree.
And so, I'm kind of like you said, it's like on the fence because on the one hand, it's like, yeah, I want my grandmother to get it, and I'm not understanding why some people at 70 plus in my family are having trouble in different states figuring out how to get it. But then on the other hand, it's like, oh, there are people that are family members and friends that work in prisons also.
Yeah, and may I just also bring up the sanitation workers that are at hospitals and jails that no one brings up. They are also very, very compromised, and they do a lot of good work. So I just wanted to give a shout out if anyone's watching. Those people are essential, and they deserve our respect. Coming up on DBL, funny man Christopher Mintz. Plus, he's putting on a puppet show on Comedy Central. But what does he, oh boy, there it is. But what does he really think about McLovin getting all the love? That's coming up next.
In honor of Black History Month, DBL is recognizing Black leaders,
who are making history right now. We're kicking things off by celebrating one of the biggest current events: Kamala Harris becoming the first female and person of color to serve as vice president.
I, Kamala Davy Harris, solemnly swear.
Before being picked as President Joe Biden's running mate, she was elected District Attorney of San Francisco, where she created a groundbreaking program for first-time drug offenders. Vice President Harris served as California's Attorney General and oversaw the largest state justice department. And during her time in the Senate, she defended the Affordable Care Act, enforced environmental law, and championed marriage equality. Vice President Kamala Harris, thank you for breaking barriers and making history right now.
Tests for COVID-19 today and whether they'll work on new strains of the virus. So why are we verifying this? Well, 2 new strains of the virus have been identified in the US, one from South Africa and one from Brazil. And viewer Vicky H asked us if the existing tests would still detect the new strains of COVID. So let's find out. Our sources are the CDC and Dr. Stuart Ray, a professor of medicine at Johns Hopkins. Dr. Ray explained that, quote, the diagnostic tests currently in use seem to detect these newer variants so far. The CDC explains further that current PCR tests have multiple targets to detect the virus, so even if a mutation causes a new strain, the tests will still work. So yes, if you have a new strain, the test will show positive for COVID. But Dr. Ray explained that they won't tell you which strain of the virus you have because, quote, sequencing of the virus to determine what variant it is remains relatively uncommon, end quote. So back to the question, will current diagnostic tests still detect new COVID-19 strains? Right now, the answer is yes. Our experts said that the diagnostic tests are still working, but they're continuing to test them on new strains in case that changes. With your Verify, I'm Jason Puckett.
Welcome back to DBL. So much has happened since the world was introduced to the character McLovin from the movie Superbad. Jeff caught up with actor Christopher Mintz to find out more about his latest project, and today is Chatting with the Stars.
Christopher Mintz, welcome to DBL. Now, let's just address the elephant in the room that is McLovin, because I got to ask, man, do you ever get tired of being recognized as McLovin from Superbad?
Honestly, if there was one thing that came out of this pandemic that was okay, it was taking a year off of staying home and not getting screamed McLovin on the street. But honestly, man, it's really sweet. It's really nice. People love the movie and they love the character. So it's great. I love having conversations about it with people.
Yeah, I got one more question before we get to your wild-looking new Comedy Central series. I met you actually in like 2015, 2016 on the sideline of an Ole Miss football game. Do you remember being at that game? I was just kind of wondering why you were there.
Absolutely. Yes, I went with my buddy Nick Braun to an Ole Miss game because we had a mutual friend who lived out there and just said going to an Ole Miss game is one of the craziest. Just the atmosphere is insane out there, so we flew it. That's crazy that we met.
I met you on the sidelines, and Brooks from Brooks and Dunn was there, and it was a wild, crazy atmosphere. And I remember meeting you, and I was like, I wonder if he remembers that experience.
Oh yeah, it was a delight.
Absolutely, what a great experience. Let's get to your new series on Comedy Central, Blark and Son. Listen, why are people going to love this series other than you're in it?
I think it's, there's not many puppet shows out there right now that, it's got a real good message of a father and son trying to find a common ground together. And it's got a great unique cast. It's got Donald Faison, Jim Rash, Justin Roiland, Jane Lynch is in the new season. And I think, you know, we got really great joke writers from shows I've worked on. We brought them on. And I think the show just has such a cool, unique, special look to it. I think people are really gonna like it.
Do you get to see the other actors like Jane Lynch? Do you get to work with them? Or this being a puppet kind of featured show, do you kind of do your own thing and you don't see the other actors?
Yeah, you know, especially with what's going around with COVID right now, no actors saw each other, no one worked in the same room. In the original, when pre-COVID in season 1, Ben and I, who voices Blark, him and I would do all our scenes together in the same room, which brought a really good chemistry out. But just for safety reasons, nobody saw each other this year.
Christopher, thank you so much for joining us here on DBL and DBL Nation. You can catch new episodes of Blark & Son on Comedy Central's social media platforms. We'll be right back, everybody.
Definitely, yeah.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
We got this email from a viewer. It had many questions about the new strains of the virus and how vaccines play into it, but the main thrust they wanted to know is, will we need a vaccine booster for every new strain of the virus? Our sources for this are Dr. David Dowdy, an epidemiologist from Johns Hopkins University, Dr. William Schaffner, an infectious diseases specialist at Vanderbilt University, and Dr. Robert Amler, a former CDC epidemiologist now at New York Medical College.
The answer is yes and no.
With COVID, we'll just have to follow what happens.
And it doesn't mean that each new strain is going to be resistant, if you will, to any vaccine.
As you can see, the consensus is we don't know yet. But let's explain why. Each year you get a new flu vaccine because influenza is an unstable virus.
On the other hand, measles, also a virus, is really very stable. So the vaccine we used 40 years ago works perfectly fine.
It's important for people to realize that the mutation rate for the coronavirus is not as high as for the flu.
So coronavirus ranks somewhere in the middle of a stable virus like measles and the always mutating virus influenza. And whether or not each strain or each year requires a different vaccine or booster is still being studied.
If we see changes and if we see a loss of efficacy against some of the newer strains, then a newer brand of vaccine or a newer preparation of vaccine may be necessary.
I would anticipate may need to be updated every few years, but probably not every single year, and certainly not with every single strain.
This February, DBL is all new every day.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Really? Okay. Like, it is such a joke. I was shocked.
I meant for you to chime in on.
I don't know what you're saying.
DBL is just getting started.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story.
Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year.
To give a conversation up here.
Shouldn't he be held accountable?
Absolutely.
This is where I'm going to push back.
Is this my shocked face?
Tori, I will walk off the set.
You should. This February, DBL is all new.
I agree with Al on this one.
Every day.
Yeah, wow, I said it, Tori. Yo.
Wow, that seems way harsh. I love it so much. All right, welcome back to DBL. That was amazing. We love sharing your comments. First off, I want to let everyone know, a lot of you are writing me that you lost family members to QAnon, and I just want to say I'm so sorry that's caused some rifts. Someone said they lost their mom, their family members. It has caused big rifts in this world, and I just wanted to acknowledge that. Also, faithful watcher Heidi says, Lindsay, I love your hair. And also Jeff Dunham's Walter, who we've actually interviewed, is a dead ringer for Joe Biden. What do you guys think? That could work. The puppet as Joe Biden.
Brandon said he's so boring. I think a puppet would do a good job.
The puppet should be it. Why not? But back to the QAnon thing. It's just I salute the guy who apologized to Anderson Cooper, but to be 30 plus, 40 something years old and say that you have to apologize because you thought someone ate babies, that's just a little bit too.
That's where we are right now, though.
That's where we are.
That's where we are. Let's be real about it. DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.